Good morning, good day, good afternoon, and good evening, and good night to all you fine people out there. My name is Dan, and with me is my good buddy Chris. I think the connection broke. You can say that again.
How you guys doing?
Yep. And then yeah, we are CBT Sports. Chris and Dan talk sports. Did I say CB? CD talk sports. Anyway, yeah, this is our first show, and we just wanted to kind of welcome you all if you're listening to this, whether you're listening on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, whatever. And we want to go ahead and just introduce ourselves, kind of say what the show is about, what the podcast is about, and kind of just get on with the show. So yeah, my name is Dan. I've been my team is the Ravens, and I also like the Commanders, but we'll get into that a little bit later. I primarily watch NFL football. I've never really been one for college, but I went to college at James Madison, so I root for them. And we both live in West Virginia, so it's kind of like we're gonna get like publicly flogged if we don't root for WVU. And then, but yeah, in terms of
I say I vote for Maryland out of those, and I think that makes it worse.
right,
Well, at least it used to back in the day.
college football, I mean, to me, it's just a little complicated. I understand it,
Same.
but yeah, but so in terms of college football, but basketball, I was born on the West Coast, so I root for the Lakers. That's not just the bandwagon. Hockey, I'll root for the Caps. I'll root for the Wizards here, but in terms of hockey, my sister was on the LA Kings ice crew, so she'll hate me if I don't root for the Kings, which I root for the Kings. I'm behind football, probably more a baseball guy. I like the Orioles and the Nationals, and I also root for the Sox, the Red Sox, and the Angels. So that's just a little bit about me and my sports stuff. So, Chris, if you want to introduce yourself, kind of what you're about.
Yep. So, guys, I'm Chris. Mainly a Baltimore Ravens fan. I don't really follow a lot of sports. I do plan on following a lot more sports. I know a lot of random stuff about nothing in sports, and it's a lot of fun. But if we're looking at college football, a lot of the time I'll say I'm a Maryland fan, but I do not watch it enough to say I'm an actual fan. Same with WVU. I've actually thought about being a WVU fan just because of moving up here.
Literally, if you go to any Target or Walmart, you'll find a bunch of WVU things on sale.
That and Steelers stuff, man, it's crazy up here. I'm just like, I feel like they just see the yellow. They're like, yellow, bring
Right.
it in with the WVU
Well,
stuff.
a lot of West Virginia, at least on the West Coast, west of West Virginia, is right kind of near the Pittsburgh area. So it's, I
Yeah,
guess, but
you got
anyway.
steel mills and the coal mines. So I get it. I get it. It's both like blue collar working type stuff. I get it. Never really watched too many other sports when it comes to like actually picking a team. I used to tell my dad I was a Clippers fan because he's a Lakers fan. I don't watch basketball though. I have no problem with basketball. I like watching the Final Four and like once you get into playoffs. I'm like that with a lot of sports. Baseball, I don't get into as much. I watch the World Series. I say I'm an Orioles fan just because Baltimore. Um, Hockey, I want to get into because it just looks raw and amazing.
I've actually been to more concerts at the Capital One Arena in DC than I've been to Caps games. I've been to one Caps game and I've been to like five concerts there.
I don't think I've ever been to a Caps game. The only thing I think I've ever been to in DC was the Staples Center. Is that where they play at? I
I
don't
think
know. Did it used to be the Staples Center?
Staples Center, I think, is out in LA. I think that's where the
Oh,
Lakers play, maybe. I could be
what was it
wrong.
called in DC then? It
Used to,
changed. They
it was the
changed
Verizon
it.
Center.
Yep, that's what it was.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I saw like three WWE events there.
Nice. I've
But
This past summer I went and saw the Nationals and the Orioles. Both
nice.
were very hot games and required lots of sunscreen. Like when I went to the Orioles game, it was like the 20th anniversary of Camden Yards or 30th or something like that. And they gave out free shirts. We used those to kind of cover our faces from the sun.
That's exactly what I would have done. I would have fried. I remember when we went to the Ravens Steelers game. It was a ton of fun. We went with a Steelers fan. The Steelers fans that were around us were very dope, very nice,
Mm-hmm.
um, good people. When we went to our Cleveland game, that's when it was a little rough. Fans were a little mean, in my personal opinion.
I've been to like five Ravens games, and each time I kind of feel embarrassed to be a Ravens fan because I remember particularly one time there was a really drunk dude in front of me and he was just being obnoxious, and I was just like, "Dude, calm down."
Same. That's one
And
issue I have as well with being a Ravens fan is the fan base. I'm glad I'm not the only one that has that issue.
I mean, it's definitely I'm still going to root for the team, but
Yeah.
I'm on a Facebook Ravens page, and a lot of them are just obnoxious on there too.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, they are. It's
And
one
I'll
of the
say,
reasons I deleted mine.
yeah. Well, I'll say too, I went and saw them play against Green Bay last year, and there were a lot of cheeseheads there. They were okay. They weren't bad. I saw a lot of Patriot people when we saw them play the Patriots. This is when Tom Brady was on the team, and a lot of people wearing just 12 jerseys. I think I saw like one Gronk jersey and one Edelman jersey, and that was it. And then, yeah, I don't remember because we've seen them play the Texans and the Browns. I don't really remember any bad experiences with fans there. But this past one I went to, they played against the Panthers, and that was a really boring game. But they did um, the fans I sat literally right next to a Panthers fan, and yeah, we were all civil about it. So no big complaints. Actually, my wife's cousin, her boyfriend is a diehard Panthers fan. So I
Hey,
kind of,
nothing wrong with that.
yeah, I can't really complain. So
That's like a team that like I kind of root for is Jacksonville. Because back when I was gonna create a team, like when I was trying to figure out which team I wanted to like, I'd play Madden and I'd pick either Jacksonville, Kansas City, or Baltimore. And I ended up picking Baltimore because Edgar Allan Poe, if anybody was curious, really big into poetry back in the day. And I was like, man, really love it. Still love it now. It's horror movies and stuff's amazing. Anyways, but Jacksonville, I was like, man, I really want to go to Florida. And I've always felt like I'm a Florida kid at heart, and I would go find an alligator. And it's funny because we always say my wife is a Jacksonville fan because she's from that area originally, like
okay,
not that
I didn't know
exact
that.
area, but from around that area originally. She doesn't watch football that much though. She does understand it though, actually a lot more than she surprised me a couple times with like knowing terminology and stuff like that. But she does not watch it or anything like that.
Believe it or not, because fun fact for those of you listening or watching, Chris and I, we met each other in what, seventh grade, eighth grade, something like that.
Yep, we would have met each other in seventh grade, and I would have met Caitlin in eighth grade.
Nice. Oh, she went to ABMS.
Yep,
Nice. I did not know that.
yep,
Did
yep.
she go to Sharando with us?
No,
Okay, gotcha.
no.
Because I know half
She
of them went to
went.
Millbrook and the other,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
But anywho, yeah. So actually, my wife. So I really did not care about football in college. Like I literally, like at least for like up until my fourth year of college, because I went 5 years, but I didn't go to a single college game at JMU, and I didn't really care at all. And then finally one day I went to she was my girlfriend at the time. I went to her house, and they're Redskins fans. You know, at the time they were the Redskins, now they're Commanders. And I finally just kind of got, I don't know what it is. She unlocked the gene in me. So now I'm like a diehard, and I'll annoy her with all the obnoxious facts, like you were saying, obscure facts. And I'll talk about like trades, and I'll talk about like cap hits. And she's like, oh my God, if it's not about the Commanders, I don't care.
Yeah, same thing happens with me. I like to tell people right up cap hits. Like I was like, man, Roquan Smith is about to come available. What if he becomes a Raven? Then it happens. I was like, all right, if we lose Lamar, it feels a little bit better now. So
Honestly, I feel like we can lose Lamar at this point. He hasn't been doing that great.
see,
But
that's fair. I think they're gonna be great if they have to fully commit to him. If they're gonna do like it, none of this halfness that they do. Like where they don't want to give him wide receivers. They did the same thing to Flacco, to be honest with you. I mean, Flacco wasn't
yeah,
a great quarterback, but he was a good time manager.
he had
And
one good year. So
yep, and if they'd bought like put the right money in the right positions, I mean, we had defensive, yeah, we had pretty good defensive line, offensive line. We just didn't have wide receivers, if I remember correctly, for Flacco.
yeah,
We had Mike Wallace. I think that was our last 1,000 yard receiver before Hollywood hit it.
I was gonna say we've never really had a great receiver, and even Hollywood wasn't that great.
Oh no, not at all. Not as of recent. Anquan Bolden, Jacoby Jones, and Torrey Smith was probably the
Yep.
best wide receiver trio. And even they were not even that great if you
Mhm.
compare them to most
Well,
teams.
Willie Snead was okay. And you know what I just found out? He's in San Francisco now. I think he
Yep.
got traded to the Raiders, and I don't know what happened to him after
Yep.
that. But
I think he really doesn't like the Ravens though.
yeah, they might have.
He they burned that bridge. I think he's
I
not a
could see it.
Harbaugh fan.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people like urinating tree for one. He's like Harbaugh and Roman. If not both of them, definitely Roman's going to be out this year. But
I think so. I'm shocked they didn't do it for the playoffs because they always seem to fire their offensive coordinators for the playoffs.
yeah,
The year
but
we won the Super Bowl, they did that, and I think the year they won the Super Bowl in 2000, they also did that.
nice. But yeah, so as you can tell, we live in the DMV area, so we have the opportunity to go to these games.
Yeah,
But so yeah, no, we're Ravens fans primarily, but also like I said, my wife is a Commanders fan, so I'll root for the Commanders. We'll kind of get more to the tiers here, but like you said, so your wife more than likely is a Jacksonville fan.
yeah, that's what we say.
Okay.
Like I do the football collecting stuff, so I have a Trevor Lawrence rookie card. I'm just like,
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, we're big Disney fans, so I got a whole Disney wall here.
that's
So
fair. I have anime Funkos, so the little Funko Pops.
oh my gosh, a lot of there's like a lot of people who collect Funkos, and I just sold one for $20. Nice.
But I'm a terrible human, and I like to get the collector's editions and take them out of the packaging,
Nice.
specifically to make people angry.
Here, since you showed me yours, I'll show you mine. I went on a Disney cruise and I just got this model of the ship that we were on.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, there's like 5 ships now, and we got one booked for October of this year, 23. And so I'm gonna get one of that, and then we have one booked for 24, and I'm gonna get one of those too. So yeah, I'm definitely
Because of where I work at, we get discounts to Universal.
oh
So
nice.
I want to do Universal really bad. Yeah, I want to do it during like the horror movie section of Universal.
I've never been to Universal. So I went and saw
Me
Alice
either.
Cooper at the Hard Rock, whatever venue down there in Orlando. But yeah, I've never actually been to the theme parks. And actually, I'm not sure, but they might have Super Nintendo World, like Super Mario World or whatever it's called.
That's what I heard.
I know it's going to open in like a couple weeks or a couple months in California. I don't know about Orlando.
I that's what I'm wondering as well because I really want to go to I really want to do that
Yeah.
one, especially because it's like I get the discount to go down there, I think, and I think I get like free boarding for like a
Oh, that's
week.
cool.
They're like
I mean, hey,
benefits are benefits. Take advantage of
yeah, no,
them.
my in-laws, we all love Disney, and they've been going to Disney every other year for like the past 25, probably even 30 years. So
See, that's
I
how. See, my wife, they had a tradition of going to the beach every year. They went to Hatteras, and I'd never been there before. And then I'm like, man, this place is awesome.
yeah, every other year they go to Myrtle Beach, every other year they go to Disney. So
That's
and we just tag
awesome.
along. But
Hey, that's what we do. Nothing
I
wrong
mean, hey,
with that.
yep, I actually got 2 Disney tattoos. I don't know if you saw this. This is my new lightsaber tattoo.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, for those who are listening on Spotify, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi's.
Yep.
So yep.
I don't have any lightsabers, but if we're talking about nerdy tattoos, I have a I don't know if we can see it that well. I have a Gotenks from
Oh,
Dragon Ball Z being worked on. This is an entire anime sleeve though, so like
oh, you and
I
my
also have
brother.
Bill Cipher
You and
from
my brother would
Gravity
get
Falls.
along. Because my
Yep.
brother, he wants to do a Star Wars one. But anywho, back on
That'd
the
be
subject
awesome.
of football. So that's just a little bit about us. We're talking about ourselves a little bit. So we're gonna get into the meat and bones now. So
Oh yeah, get this tier list going.
all
Are
right.
there any teams, and I know the answer to
Well,
this already, that you just completely just are meh, just meh about, just have no
uh,
feelings towards whatsoever?
yes, but we also I feel like we should talk about current NFL news just real quick
Oh yes,
because
yes, 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 yes.
so okay. On Monday night, I literally was just so my wife and I have this tradition, not even tradition, but just we have this what's the word habit like what's the word I'm looking for? We do the same thing every night. We have this pattern where,
Routine.
yeah, routine. Thank you. Where we have dinner and then we go upstairs, we play video games. We have a setup where it's like my TV and her TV are next to each other. And then we last summer we went yard selling and found a little TV in the middle. So we bought a Roku and we put the little like so we watch TV on there. And
Nice.
so we can watch TV while we're playing games. And so on Monday, I was like, it's the last Monday night game ever. I'm just gonna go ahead well for the season. It's the last Monday night game for the season. I'm just gonna put it on. And we'll get into what Bengals versus Bills, but then I'm playing my game, and all of a sudden my wife just goes, "Oh my god, there's a guy now." I'm like, "Oh, well, that's not good," because I know like people get down a lot, and
Yep.
oh, there's an ambulance. I've never heard of an ambulance going on the field, and yeah, Damar Hamlin, right? That's his name.
Yep.
I'm not messing that up. Cool. Yeah, he had a cardiac arrest right on there, and I've seen. I think you were talking before we did this. Like you didn't see the video.
No, I actually wasn't watching the game,
Oh,
and
nice.
I won't look it up out of respect. I do not want to look it up. As someone who has gotten hurt, I didn't go that level of hurt before, but like I fractured the top part of my spine.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want any part of looking up someone else's injury.
Gotcha. Let's circle back to that, but
Yeah.
yeah, he had a cardiac arrest, and it was a scary couple of days because like I don't know if you know this about me, but my mother actually had a cardiac arrest
Mhm.
when we were literally I wasn't even supposed to be with her that day, long story short, but we were leaving the movie theater and she was driving in the parking lot and it happened and I was able to stop the car and did CPR and thank God she was okay. And so yeah, they did what they were within 10 seconds they got to him and they did CPR. They had to like resuscitate him twice or something. And I guess I'm assuming they did what they did to my mom, where they put him in a medically induced coma and just the way it was explained to me with it, I'm assuming, and I don't know this for a fact, but they cooled her body down so they let her brain and her heart just kind of rest and reset. So I'm assuming that's what happened to him. But yeah, the fact that they did CPR apparently can double or triple the chances of survival for that. And apparently he woke up today and he's responsive, and they're just
Yep.
trying to get him to the point where he's getting off the ventilator. So,
Yep. That's what I was reading as well. I was going to mention that. Yep. I just saw that alert come through a couple hours ago.
and obviously he still has cognitive function because he wrote down he's able to communicate like who won the game. And it's like, well, and did they cancel that game?
They haven't announced yet. I don't think they should cancel the game personally, just because I don't think they can. Well, I think they should, but I don't think they will. But
I feel like
I don't think they can. Let me rephrase that.
if both teams were not in the playoffs and winning that
Mm-hmm.
game would have gotten them to the playoffs, yes. But they're both already in the playoffs. I
Yep.
know it's kind of over the number one seed and blah blah blah, but it's
Yep.
just like,
Well, not even just that. If the Bengals lose that game and the Ravens win, they go to the second seed or
yep,
the third, and they knock
that's
the
fair.
Bengals into the wild card rounds.
But back to Damar Hamlin, I'm glad
Yep.
he's making a recovery.
Yep.
I know like his like community toy drive or something up in where he's from, like Pennsylvania,
Yep.
had a $2,500 goal. It's already at like what 7 million. I wouldn't be surprised if it was at 8 right now.
Yep,
So
that's what I saw. I saw that it was at 4 million about lunchtime, I think, today, and I was like, Jiminy Christmas, that's a lot of money.
yeah, I actually myself I donated like $20, but
Nice.
I'm sure like there was a lot of people who donated much more than that, and I thought it was funny that apparently like the Commanders, like Dan Snyder, donated $5,000, and some other like random coffee company just somewhere in the middle of nowhere donated like 5,001 just to spite Dan Snyder, and I'm like, yes,
It just
but
sounds like the right thing to do is just donate out of spite of Dan Snyder if you can do
yep. But that's
it.
good. No, I looked it up. It wasn't just like Toys for Tots for Christmas. It was like helping get school supplies,
Yep.
and
I think it was like a localized organization. They're gonna do a lot with that money. They're gonna do great with that. Good things are gonna come
definitely
from that.
definitely help hopefully get some people out of poverty and get
Yeah.
school supplies and help with housing. I'm
Those
hoping so.
those small organizations like that, just a sidebar conversation, are amazing. So I'm originally from Middleburg, Virginia, and Sean Taylor was a popular commander at the time, Washington team. Um, and he had a foundation called the Sean Taylor Foundation. So I've always lived in, until I was able to work on my own and all that fun stuff, I always lived in low income housing. So when we lived in Middleburg, which is ironic because it's a rich area, but it was an apartment complex that was for low income. And so I guess Leesburg does a thing where if you're part of the low incoming, you get to go through this like fundraiser, but it's like a hat draw where they'll just draw your name out of it and they just pick the poorest kids, I guess. And I got drawn, which is amazing because like I used to get a lot of hand-me-down clothes, a lot of my toys were hand-me-downs. Well, they gave me like $500 to go to like Old Navy and just go to a shopping spree.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I don't know where the calculator is. I imagine it's something I probably won't find again, but it was amazing. And because of that, at that time, I did not watch football. I didn't watch football until I started playing football, basically. So like freshman, sophomore year of high school. My dad was a Dallas fan, so I told him I was a Dallas fan. I apologized to him at the event because it was Caps, Washington, cheerleaders, the Wizards. Part of them were there.
Yep,
It was a great time. Like it was a
that's
very
awesome. Yeah,
beautiful event. Like if I can find it on the news, I'll send it to you because it was on the news.
I was gonna say, did you meet Sean Taylor?
No, I think this was after because he became
Ah,
my
okay.
I think this was after or it was a little bit before. I can't remember because of how young I
I
was.
can't remember if he was drafted in 2007 or if he died in 2007.
That's my issue is
Yeah,
years like that because of that he basically became my favorite player of all time. Huge Ravens fan, love Ed Reed, love Ray Lewis, but because of just like the actual like physical
yeah.
gifts that man gave me,
He
will always be my favorite player. I want to get he's one of I actually have a topic I want to bring up after that I think we could do. Well, you edit these, correct?
I mean, I'm gonna just basically like take our little sections and put them. I'm not really gonna go with a fine tooth
That's
comb,
fair.
but
That's fair.
I
But
will say real quick, he was drafted in 2004 and died in 2007. Yep.
okay, okay. 2004
But
with Sean Taylor.
and I will just circle back real quick. What position did you play again? Because again, when I was in high school, I didn't care.
Fullback and
Okay.
defensive tackle, but I kind of played whatever they told me to play.
Okay. I
When
was
I
gonna
got
say,
hurt, I played tight end. I was lined up at tight end, running a slant across the
okay,
field. So
nice,
yeah,
nice. Who are the wide receivers? Do you remember what that I would? I mean, you don't have to name last names, but
Brandon,
okay,
Isaiah,
okay. I know who you're talking about.
Ojo,
Yep,
Adam.
yep. I think, yeah. Okay, I'm just.
Allen. And there's a lot of juniors were the wide receivers, not a lot of seniors.
I was gonna say, I feel like was Dante like a running back or a tight end?
Uh, Last name two B's.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played defensive tackle and offensive tackle.
Okay. When I
He
was
was
doing
good too. He
what
he was good.
when I was doing track, I feel like if I actually cared, I probably could have tried out and been a running back. I probably would have enjoyed that, or maybe a wide receiver. But
I wish I could have gone back and told so many people that I was in high school with. It just for the experience of like I'm not like a big popularity person at all, but just for the experience of like a little bit of that limelight, a little
being
bit
on the
of it,
field,
a
yeah,
little bit, it's pretty fun. I liked it it was a good creative out for me at that time that I really needed.
sure.
So that's why I think it was a good
Oh,
thing to
what
take.
did Sean play? Last name starting with a T. The guy we went to see Slipknot with.
Oh, he played offensive line too.
Okay.
Yeah, it was always funny because he's such a small guy in terms of like waist. He was
Mm-hmm.
a smaller guy, but he was good too.
Okay, cool. Well, anywho, so yeah, that's what's going on. Damar Hamlin, if you haven't donated, I strongly encourage it.
Yep.
So, real quick, we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna take a look at the playoff picture currently.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so this is currently what the playoffs are at. So, number one, Chiefs. This is the AFC. Bills, Bengals, Chargers, and Ravens have clinched in the wild card, and then so it looks like I think what you said, Jacksonville's a winning in. Like they win
Yes,
and
I
they're
think
in.
Jacksonville's win and they're in.
Yeah, because they're playing
And
the Titans, and the Titans have like crashed and burned this season.
yep, I think that yeah, the matchup itself, whoever wins, I think the Jacksonville Jaguar and Titans game, I think gets the AFC West or yeah,
That's
no,
the
not the
AFC
AFC West,
South. Yeah,
AFC South, and they win that division.
nice. And
And
then
then
Patriots, I think if
yeah,
they win, they're in
yes,
because the Dolphins are. I mean, like so, Tua
but
got
they play the
another.
Bills.
Yeah. Oh, no, they're playing the Jets this week. It looks like week
Oh no,
18.
no, the Patriots are playing the
Oh, yeah,
Bills.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll say this: I know the Dolphins. They looked really good at the beginning of the year. They, I know Tua had another concussion. Bridgewater was out with like an ankle or a wrist injury or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was wrist.
So
I
I don't
think.
know who they're at right now, but they're on like the third string, and I don't know
Let's
who's
find out
going
who
to
that
get in.
is. I got you.
Yep. I could see the Steelers winning against the Browns because the Browns, even though they beat the Commanders last week, that's not their fault. That's the Commanders' fault. But I could see the Steelers beating the Browns. I don't know if the Steelers are winning in or if they need the Dolphins to lose and the Patriots to lose. I know for a fact that like, if Jacksonville wins, they're in because they'll win the division. But so there's
Skylar Thompson, by the way.
thank you. I remember seeing the name before,
I
but I just
think he's
couldn't
a
think of it.
rookie.
Yeah. Well, and Sam Howell is playing for Commanders on Sunday because like they're
That
already
should
out
be
of the
exciting.
playoffs. So then, yeah, we don't want the Steelers, and we'll talk about that in a second. But NFC Eagles. So the Eagles and the Cowboys. I mean, so if the Eagles lose to the Giants and the Cowboys win against the Commanders, which both are possible, then I think the Cowboys get the number one seed, which will make fans even more insufferable. But
Yeah, I think that yeah, they would leapfrog 49ers, wouldn't they?
well, and I'm not sure, like, because if the 49ers, if they win, I don't know if they played each other. I don't know how that would work out, but the 49ers, they could get the number one seed because they're playing the Cardinals, and that's going to be a pretty easy
Yeah, I
win, I
think if
think, for
the
them.
Eagles and the Cowboys both lose, Eagles fall to second or third, and then I think the 49ers go to first. So I think that's how that works.
Yeah,
The
because
the
I'm
NFC just looks stacked this year.
it does. Well, the Vikings are kind of going down because they did really good at the beginning of the year. Now
Yeah.
they're kind of like showing signs of weakness. Vice versa for Tampa Bay because they were really bad at the beginning of the year, and
They're
now they're
picking up
just
steam.
good lord. I really don't want to see another Brady win a Super Bowl, but I'll take that over the Cowboys anyway.
I agree with that.
Honestly, I mean, so then the Giants they punched in a playoff spot.
Yep.
Okay, so out of the three, so Seattle, Lions, and Packers, just my personal opinion, I'd rather see Seattle get in, but I also could see I'm not going to be upset if the Lions get it. I don't want the Packers in just because I have personal feelings about Aaron Rodgers, and we'll
Yep.
get into that later. But
I personally think the Packers are going to get into the playoffs just because I just think it's going to happen. I want the Lions in, though. I want
I'm
that
not
defense in
sure.
the playoffs. That defense is nasty. And if that offense picks up the way it has been, I think they could be a really dangerous team in the playoffs.
You're talking about the Packers?
The Lions.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
I want the Lions in. That's who I want to get in, but I think the Packers are going to get in. Seattle could just win.
Yeah. Well, I don't know like what happens because I mean, obviously the Seahawks are playing the Rams. I don't know if that's a win in their end team, but I
Packers
think
are winning in.
oh they are.
Yep, Packers are winning in. They control their own destiny.
Okay, I think I remember. So I don't know if Seattle needs like either
I
one of these
think.
teams to lose, but
Let's make sure I'm right on that.
yeah, there's like certain situations. While you're looking that up, I'm just seeing here Texans have the number one pick currently, then the Bears, the Cardinals. God, the Broncos this year had so many expectations. I had them going to the Super Bowl at the beginning of the year, and then they didn't.
I don't blame you.
Then we got the Colts, the Rams. That's apparently they have like the worst record for a defending Super Bowl champion team ever. Like this is like the worst Super Bowl hangover. We got the Falcons, the Raiders, the Panthers, the
Yep. All they got
Browns.
to do is win.
Who are the Packers?
Yep.
Gotcha. And then so yeah, the last, I mean, the Commanders. Apparently Rivera didn't even know they could have gotten
Saw
eliminated.
that.
I'm
I
like,
saw that clip.
really?
And then he got mad at the reporter for asking. You
Well,
can't do
that's his own
that.
fault. But
I
I
agree.
realistically, I could see Jacksonville getting in, and then the last it'll be between the Patriots and the Steelers, I think.
Out of all these teams who I'd like to see get in, I want Jacksonville to win it in, especially after what happened. I want Jacksonville to go. And then I'm I don't like the Dolphins because the whole Tua situation, just because of personal feelings. So honestly, I wouldn't get mad if the Steelers made it in, only because of this. I would really like to see. So as a Ravens fan, there's certain things I do respect. I'm sure you get this. I really like TJ Watt and Minka. I think they're a good
Mm-hmm.
combo. I think they deserve a chance to get in there and let their offense completely ruin it and make someone's day in the.
I was gonna say, I
I
mean,
think they'd get
Pickett
stomped, but
last week, Pickett did a good drive against the Ravens, but I don't know if
yeah, he did.
that's really a sign that
For
Pickett is
the
good or if the
defense,
defense is
yes.
just bad.
I think the defense is good. I think it's just that they just are out there so much that it's kind of hard for them to keep up.
Gotcha. I can see Packers. I mean, I could see them doing because they're playing the Lions, but I would just love to see an upset and have the Lions win.
Me too.
But
I would love it. It would, especially because I know I'm gonna be watching uh the Grossi stream. So like that's just gonna like
oh
erupt in
yeah,
there.
it's not that like so. I like Tom Grossi. Like I
Mhm.
think he makes good content. I just the only thing that makes me dislike the Packers. I know Sean's a Packers fan. I've gone to
Oh
his
yeah,
house
he
a couple
is.
times. I just dislike Aaron Rodgers. But
That's fair.
yeah, and
I
that's not
feel
even
like
on an athletic level. It's just on his personality. So,
that's fair.
but
I'm the same way.
I I'll say this: there's not a team that and we'll get into this again with the tiers. I keep saying that I like the Seahawks. There's not a team in the NFC West I dislike, so I wouldn't be upset if they got in two. Because also just the lulls at like they traded away Russell Wilson, thinking
Geno
that like
Smith.
yeah, and just well, Geno Smith went to WVU, didn't he? He got picked by
Yes,
he
he
got
did. He was
Jets. Yeah,
really good at WVU, like very good.
I think he was picked by the Jets, and then he became a
Mhm.
journeyman. I think,
Yep.
but
And I'm sure we'll talk about this later. Those journeyman quarterback, they just you go to the wrong team. That's all it is. That's all it
mhm.
is. We've
but
seen it time and time again.
but this is how it is, and I don't know like what the games would be like, but that's kind of what we're looking at. But anyway, so let's go ahead then and get to the other thing we wanted to talk about today. So we're going to go on and we're going to do a tier list of the teams here. So let's say, can I exit out of these things and have them go away? That'd be cool. Awesome. So, okay. So I did it in there's 5 tiers. So we got number one fan, like this is our team. We're going to root for them, ride or die. Like them, not love them. We like them, no problems with them. I would go to a game if someone offered me, but they're not, I'm not going to go buy a jersey or something. No
Yeah.
opinion, literally no opinion. I don't care. And also, I just want to say for the like, not love, I have certain reasons why I like certain teams, as opposed to why I dislike certain teams. So I'll get into that. Like I'm looking like Chicago as an example. I'll get into that in a second. But dislike it's just different from loathe in that like there's only a few teams that we like absolutely every time we'll root against and we hate them. But dislike is just like if I'm seeing someone play against you, depending on who it is, I'm always going to root against you.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good one.
Cool. So let's go with the Cardinals. And like I said earlier, there's not a team I dislike in the NFC West, but again, I kind of have no opinion on them. I don't know how you feel about them.
I have no opinion on the Cardinals. I feel bad for Kyler Murray. If anything, I get really tired of seeing the Call of Duty memes for him.
Nice. I just think
As
it's
someone
funny
around the
that
same
like
age bracket, I'm just like they put out the memes. I'm just like, you don't even have the memes correct.
I just think it's kind of ridiculous. It's like you were the number one pick in the draft the year you were picked, and you're like are the face of this franchise, but you don't watch film. Like, really?
That's wild.
Yeah.
But I think he does watch film, and they found that to be a lie. And
Is
that's
that?
why that's why they had to get rid of the clause in his contract about
Oh, I
not
don't know.
watching film. It
I'm
was something about making him look lazy or something.
There was a joke that the week the new Madden came out that like Kyler Murray wasn't going to play that week.
Oh yeah, they did the same thing when the Modern Warfare 2 came out.
Nice. So yeah, no opinion on them. Falcons. So I was mad that they lost that Super Bowl in spectacular fashion, but I don't dislike them. I'm kind of in the no opinion on them, but
Likewise, I just feel bad for them.
I feel bad
They
for
could
Matt
take back
Ryan.
their curse though. The Ravens need to stop
Oh god.
choking leads.
So we last year the Ravens had the most
Like the
injuries.
bird
They
flu.
won the injury bowl, and then now they won the choke bowl anyway. But yeah, the Falcons. I feel bad for Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. Like they could have. Oh, didn't Julio was not with Tampa when they won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. So I just feel bad for Matt Ryan. He could have been an MVP. Like he could have been a Hall of Famer, but this this has not been good for him this year.
Ooh, breaking news. NFL announces week 17 Buffalo Cincinnati game will not be resumed. Neutral
Ooh,
AFC game site to be held.
huh?
So I
Okay,
wonder if the Ravens are just like, yeah, they can take the AFC North because
I
I feel like they
wonder.
had to get a lot of teams to sign off on this.
I
But
wonder.
apparently Baltimore contacted Buffalo um, during the Hamilton situation.
Interesting. Okay. Well, is what it is. But
Good. Hey,
anywho,
yeah, good. They're taking care of the man. That's a good thing.
exactly. So anywho, okay. So what am I saying now? We were talking about the Falcons again. Not really an opinion on them,
Yep.
but so
Absolutely loathe this next team coming in.
no, we are number one fans of the Ravens. I was thinking
Okay.
about wearing my Ravens hat, but I'll show you. I got one of these. Well, I'm wearing a Captain America hat, but I got one of these. You can't even see it. It's
Is it like a banner with
yeah,
the Super
it's
Bowl winning on it?
yeah, there you go.
It's sick.
Yeah. So I
Do
got
you have a
that.
green screen?
I'm just using my background filter on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
So
Do you need a
yep,
green screen?
I have a green screen.
Okay.
Yeah. But anywho, yeah. So Baltimore, we're both in the area. We love them. So go Baltimore. Then okay. So how do we feel about the Bills?
I actually like the Bills a lot.
I
Their
would.
their fan base makes me like them. They crash through tables. They're just a bunch of goofy guys and gals over there.
I kind of feel bad for them because like the
Playoffs.
the former. So I think pretty much every team except the Eagles have beaten them in a Super Bowl.
In the NFC East, yeah.
Yeah.
I think every single one of what Giants, Washington, and Dallas.
Yeah, they all. So I kind of feel bad for that, but at the same time, yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you. I don't really dislike them, so I'll put them and like them. You know.
Okay.
So yeah, like I mean, again, and one thing I want to say too about the Damar Hamlin situation, it's been really cool seeing all the teams come together and just root for him. You know.
Yes. Yeah.
So
They took a break from actual like football and they're dealing
oh
with
yeah.
actual life. It's
Yeah.
good.
Well, we can all just put Skip Bayless right here in the loathe. But
Mhm.
Carolina, that's a team. So how do you feel about them?
No opinion. I don't hate them at all. I have no ill will towards them. When they had Christian McCaffrey, I liked them a lot because they had DJ Moore, who was from Maryland, and I wanted the Ravens to draft him. So I've been watching his career.
Okay.
Um, I had a
Well,
bunch of his rookie cards also.
I'm torn between no opinion and like not love because well, I'm gonna put them in no opinion just because I mean my like I said, my wife's cousin's boyfriend is a huge fan of them. So, I don't dislike them. It's just besides Cam Newton and Christian McCaffrey, like who's been like a star player on their team in the past
Steve
like five
Smith,
years? Yeah, fair. But like in the
but
past like 5 years.
he went to the Ravens, so
Yeah. But so Chicago, I can't say no opinion. Tell me how you feel about Chicago first.
don't hate him at all. Like the historical franchise that they have of defensive championships.
I know like a lot of people dislike them because they won't shut up about 1985, and I get it.
I see. I never heard that from a Bears fan before.
Well, apparently they're just like stuck on the one Super Bowl because apparently it's like oh the greatest team ever or whatever. But
Oh, I guess I could see that.
but I've been to Chicago. I really enjoyed it. and I really like deep dish pizza, so I'm gonna put them in like, not love.
Hey, I like pizza in general, so we can just go ahead and agree with it. I like
Cool,
lasagna
cool.
also. So isn't that
So
what they also call deep dish? Yeah.
the Bengals, I'm conflicted on because they're our division rival. We should hate
Hmm.
them, but they got beat up for so many years,
Hmm.
and they were a laughing stock. And then I kind of felt good. I was rooting for them in the Super Bowl last year. I'm like, go on, go ahead, little brother, kind of like that.
I
But
was rooting for them in the Super Bowl as well. They make me mad though, during the like back in the day, like early 2000s, because it was like Bursett and Backman Jones always doing dirty hits,
yeah,
always. And it made me not like him because of that. But now we're just going off of right now how I feel about him. I I like not loathe them. Not gonna lie.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
We can.
it's a team that I want to see do well.
It's kind of like
They kind of took what Cleveland was there in my heart for a little bit, for a slight second until, yeah. So,
we'll talk about them in like
oh,
literally a moment. But
oh yeah,
so, and also I have family friends who live in Cincinnati. I've been to a Cincinnati Reds game. It's all right there. I can't
their
complain.
fans are amazing. Every Cincinnati fan I've met's been really nice. One of my best friends from high school, he was a Cincinnati fan.
Yep. And I will say too, Joe Burrow's a lot more likable than was the guy before him.
Andy
Andy
Dalton,
Dalton. Yeah, Andy
yeah,
Dalton just looks like a jerk. So
he looked like the kid from Christmas Story. Is my favorite meme during Christmas
nice.
time.
But yeah, I mean, again, we should hate them because we're division rivals, but I don't hate them. So
Same.
all right, so Cleveland. I know you have strong feelings about Cleveland. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I absolutely dislike them. If you can sign Deshaun Watson, I'm just leaving it at that. I won't get into anything else other than
So
that.
Cleveland, the city, sucks, and
Yeah, Ohio sucks.
yeah, I yeah. There's and we'll get into other things, but everyone like there's that Ohio joke on the
Yep.
internet. I see you're Ohio, and I raise you in New Jersey, but
Yeah. Fair enough. Or
so
Jets.
yeah, and I have friends who live in Ohio too, and I'm like, you could move elsewhere, right? But no, anyway. So I've been to Cleveland. I enjoy the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and that's about it. It's a very I can see why they're so angry and depressed all the time, but I don't know. If you loathe them, I'll put them in loathe, but I dislike them definitely.
I think we put them in loathe just for the screenshot of it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, again, the difference between them and the Bengals is like the Bengals never, as far as I'm aware, again, being a newer fan for the past like 5 years, they haven't really ever been smug at any point, whereas
Mm,
the Browns have kind of like, and I get like they had the winless season, they had the 1 win season, they had. I mean, obviously, their team was taken from them from Art Modell and became the
yeah.
Ravens. So
And I think a lot of it ends up being is that Cleveland was that kid that it was doing great, and you're just like, man, that kid over there just never did anything, and he's just doing so great for himself. But then he just started getting cocky and
mhm.
just got arrogant, and you want to see him fail. It's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's I'm one of those people where I'd put him in between like and loathe. But I think I'm closer to loathe than I am dislike.
And the whole Deshaun Watson thing, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
rooting for them to, because like, and again too, like they gave him all that money, like 250 guaranteed. It's like
I'm
he's
glad
not
to see it blow up in their face so far,
absolutely, and I'm
but they're
actually
doing pretty
hoping
decent now.
it's not that I liked Mayfield, but I'm kind of glad that he's doing so good in LA
Oh,
now.
I was going to mention this actually. So a prediction I'm hoping happens is if Baltimore can't sign Lamar, they go after Mayfield.
I would like to see them
They
take
could probably get
Heineke.
him. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
I like
because
that style of quarterback where we're going to live or die by the long deep ball because
right.
Duvernay would thrive in that. That'd be great.
It's just yeah. Apparently, I don't see him signing with the Commanders again because
I
like
don't see Lamar signing with the Ravens. So,
yeah. So we'll take Heineke. That
oh
works. We'll
yeah,
get him for a good deal too. Anyway,
oh yeah,
and
like
we
a
can
good
keep
three
Roquan
year
Smith.
50. Oh yeah, they
Uh,
get him for real cheap.
yeah, no, seriously, get Heineke for like 3 years, 75 mil at most, and
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, even 100 mil is fine. But
I don't even think they'd have to spend that much for. I think it'd be like 3 years, 50 mil, guaranteed probably.
5 years, something like that.
5 years, like 75 mil. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just put this right here. So
Yeah. Yeah.
because oh my god, it's not so much because I've been to okay. Let me rephrase that. I some Dallas fans are okay.
Yes. And I agree with that.
However, the vast majority of them will never shut up about how awesome they are. They are the kid who they like.
They
achieve
peaked in high
something.
school.
They peaked. Yes, exactly. They peaked in high school. And yes, you peaked in high school. You got prom king or whatever. That's an accomplishment. But at the same time, you haven't done anything since then. It's been like 30 years. So,
Great.
and it's
Oh,
just their
that's great.
fans will never shut up about how awesome they are and how like they have such an entitlement complex. Like
Yep.
they literally feel like they deserve to win the Super Bowl every year. And it's like, it wouldn't even be that bad if they would just like stop saying we're going to the Super Bowl every year. It's like,
Yep.
stop, please.
Yep.
Like every year, there's always those memes that someone, and I think people do it to troll too, but I think it's like, if it's a troll, it's working. They post that picture of like Mike McCarthy with Dak Prescott holding up the Lombardi trophy, and it's like, this is our year. I'm like, stop. But
I like that one. I like the one of Dak holding up. It's usually someone. It'll be like Jalen Hurts, and it's like, "Oh, this is your dad."
yeah. Well, and I will say too, when Dak got injured like 2 years ago, I wasn't like cheering for him or
Oh
anything.
yeah, I feel bad for him. Anytime a player gets hurt, I feel for him just because they don't get treated correctly. In my
It's
personal opinion, I know they make millions, but
there's very few players who I dislike just because of their like the way that I
yeah,
perceive them.
yep,
But Dak, like a lot of the Cowboys players, not like that. It's just again, don't hate the player, hate the team, or hate the sport or whatever, hate the game. It's
yeah,
just yeah, I don't dislike any individual Cowboys player. I just hate the franchise as a whole, and Jerry Jones again too. I'm not a fan of him. So,
yeah.
but and I will say too, I've been to Dallas. It smelled like pee. The whole city.
I've heard that about Texas in general, though.
Yeah, I I went to Texas once, and I unfortunately, so I'm kicking myself because I didn't go to Dimebag Darrell's grave. You know what I'm talking about from
Yep.
Pantera, and Vinnie Paul. I'm kicking myself for not going to their graves because I was like literally right around there in Dallas. But oh well, I don't see myself going back to Texas anytime soon. But
It's fair.
anyway,
Same.
so Broncos. So okay, back when I was in high school, and like when I say I didn't care about football, I watched the Super Bowl. Like that was
Yep.
really the one game I cared about.
Yep. Me and you would talk about the Super Bowl. We talk about maybe a couple Commanders things, maybe every now and then.
Hmm.
When I talk about the Ravens stuff to you, but that was like your senior year, like the last
Yeah,
semester.
because I remember the Ravens won our junior year, I think.
Yeah, 2012. So yeah,
Yeah. So anyway, what I'm
2013. But
well,
yeah,
2012 into 13. Anyway,
yeah.
but every time the Broncos have played, I've rooted for them in the Super Bowl. Like I rooted for them against Carolina. I rooted for them against Seattle when they played, and I think kind of like one of the stupid reasons I root for them is because I like South Park and they like the Broncos. So
That's fair. That's a reason I've always rooted for him as well. It's because Trey Parker and them. I
yeah.
100% agree.
So we'll see how the Walmart family goes. But do you like it? Not
I
love it?
100% agree with that. Yeah.
Cool. All right. The Lions are weird because I don't like Jared Goff as a person. I think he's really smug and he looks like that guy from that movie Malibu's Most Wanted. He looks like what's the actor's name? Jamie Kennedy in that movie.
I know exactly what you're talking
And didn't he
about.
dress as him for Halloween one year? Anyway, I know it like Detroit, Cleveland can boast the fact that it's not Detroit. So
Yeah.
and they the Ford family just sucks as owners and they ruined Matt Stafford. And I'm so glad he got a ring
Matt
too. But
Stafford, Calvin Johnson.
Lions literally are where players go to die
Yeah,
because
they're actually a fan thing where it's like I feel like the majority of their fan base is very sweet. I've only met two of their fans in real life. Both of them were just terrible, mean people.
our wedding photographer was a Lions fan and he was really cool.
Okay, hey, that's a positive one. But see, I feel like it's that way. Also, both of them, I think, were talking trash to me weeks that the Ravens played them, and I'm like, you guys aren't even in the playoffs. It was like week 7. And I was like, you guys are already eliminated, aren't you? Like, what are we doing? But um, I like Detroit to a certain they're kind of like where it's like you want them to do good, but it's like
I kind of
I
would just put
don't,
them in good.
but it's like I don't hate them, but I don't like them.
I'll put them in no opinion.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah. I mean, we did have that nice kick from Justin Tucker that
Yeah,
last
we got
year.
to thank him for that one,
Yeah.
especially because I don't think that kick was supposed to count. But I don't think Detroit fans always talk about that.
Didn't yeah, because I know it like doinked the thing. I don't know if that counts or not, but anyway. So
Oh no! I think what it was is they should have actually had to run down the clock because the Ravens should have been called for a penalty, but they never called it.
yeah, I never.
Hey, win's a win.
I I was in Orlando at the time, so I wasn't watching the game.
That's
Anyway.
fair.
So okay, Green Bay again. Don't hate the player, hate the game, but I really dislike Aaron Rodgers just because he lied about his health status last year, and he just seems like a very smug person and kind of
Yep.
just. everything I've been told about him, and again, I don't know the guy personally. It's just everything I've heard about him has just been negative. And at the same time, some, not all of the cheeseheads are really annoying too. They're just a level below Dallas fans.
Dallas fans, yeah,
Yep.
that's always what I think as well.
But I don't loathe them, so I would put them in dislike.
I agree. I was actually going to say I put him in dislike.
Okay. And obviously, actually, I take that back too. When I was on a cruise earlier, like last year's, like April, we did meet some Green Bay fans, and they were nice. I will
Okay, that's
say,
good.
and apparently, though, it's hard to get season passes because, like, I don't know, like all the Green Bay fans, they'll go to like away games because it's hard to get tickets to Lambeau Field. Apparently,
Yep, that's what I've heard as well. That's because their fans own their team, basically.
gotcha. So Texans, I just feel bad for them because like they had Deshaun Watson, and they like this is before all the allegations came out. They kind of
Yeah, I feel bad for them until the allegations came out, and they kind of were just like hiding.
well, didn't they just like sit him because of that, or just because he got injured? I
I
forget.
think they just sat him because of public outcry.
I'm teetering between dislike and no opinion. I don't like hate them,
I will
but
put him in. I think I put him in no opinion for right now. If it's true that they knew all of this ahead of time, which yeah they did because I actually know what. Let's go ahead and put him in dislike because they were the ones that helped organize a lot of these masseuses for Deshaun Watson. They found
yeah,
that out in the cases, so
that's
some of
fair.
that stuff's got to be true then. So
Yep. So yeah,
also, they used to be a team I didn't like because, so fun fact, the reason I played football and decided to play fullback was because of Vonta Leach, who played for Houston and then became a Raven. Amazing fullback, dude hit like a brick cannon. He was a brick wall, whatever you want to say. He was really good. But I used to dislike the Texans because they always used to beat the Ravens in like week 12, week 13, the end of the year. And I'm like, we need to win this game. What are you doing?
if it's a consolation, I think the first Ravens game I went to, it was the Texans and they won.
Hey,
So,
that's good. I'm the same way about the Chargers as well.
but so yeah, I could see on my dislike because especially if they were covering that up. But
Yeah.
Colts,
I don't really have a feeling towards the Colts. I should hate them, I feel like, because they were
they
stolen away from the
yeah,
Ravens technically, but
I mean
our
Jonathan
history is their
Allen is
history.
cool, but yeah, I mean, literally when I was at the bank the last month or two or whenever that was, they had Johnny Unitas, I think it was, or no,
Yeah.
no who was
Yep.
the okay,
United was the Baltimore Colts.
yeah, they had his statue next to Ray Lewis, so interesting,
Yep.
but
It is pretty cool because he was a Baltimore Colt. So I mean he should be there, but I could also see the Colts putting him up. The one thing I could see someone putting the Colts in for dislike is the handling of Andrew Luck. I could see that.
so Andrew Luck, I just know I think he just got tired of it. Like I don't know, he could have been traded, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But I also think Jim Irsay is like he's not the best, he's not the worst owner, but he's definitely not the best owner.
Yeah,
So
his DUI showed that and all that. He doesn't make the best decisions.
definitely not. But he's no Dan
I
Snyder.
think there's a lot more than just that, but that's the only thing I know off the top of my head. I don't want to say anything else.
But Jacksonville, I mean, I can put them in the like because I mean, I really
I think we put him in with no opinion. Because I like them, but if you don't really have opinion on them, we did the same thing with Carolina. I think we put both of the what were they 2000?
well,
No, no,
if
no,
it's
they were
your
96.
if it's your wife's team, I'm like, okay, I get it.
It it
But
it is, but it isn't. She watches football, but she doesn't watch football. Like if we were to say it's a team, we'll say it's her team type
I'll
deal.
we'll put them in no opinion then, just because I know like with the whole Urban Meyer thing, and I've heard their owner's kind of
Yes.
shady too. I don't know, but
Yeah, I have heard the exact same thing before.
yeah. Kansas City. I remember you said earlier that you liked them. So let me before you get into them, or before I get into them, go ahead and tell me what you feel about Kansas City.
Love them, love Patrick Mahomes. His family makes me not like them at all. But
Exactly.
I will say they've been very quiet as of recent, so I don't dislike them. And they're actually a team that if they make it to the Super Bowl, I'm probably going to want them to win because I like Patrick Mahomes. I like a lot of the people on their team. I love Andy Reid. Loved him when he was the Eagles coach. He's one of my favorite coaches of all time. So,
Out of all
um,
those State Farm commercials, I love the one where he's like drawing on people's faces.
yeah, that
That's
was
my
great.
that's my favorite.
That was
But
great.
I okay, we can put them in no opinion. I was gonna say I kind of dislike their fans because they won't shut up now
You know
either.
what? I agree with that. You know
Yeah.
what? They remind me. You know what? They're the AFC version of the Green Bay fans. They're not at the Packer state, but a lot of their fans are close to that Packer
Mm-hmm.
level. of being close to the Dallas
And
level.
I can't really hate the team because of his wife or his brother,
Yeah.
but at the same
And they've kind
time,
of toned it down.
yeah, I feel like he was like, dude, shut up, you're gonna get me kicked off the team or
That's,
something.
that's I feel like he
But
was like, come on, you guys are ruining my image. Come on.
yeah. Uh
Or it's just a lot quieter now. It doesn't
mhm,
get publicized.
yeah, hopefully. So okay. The Chargers, I kind of have no opinion on them, but
Same.
yeah, it's like
Back in the day, I didn't like him because of Philip Rivers, but that's just because he was so competitive and so good. There's no reason to not actually like him.
I have I have some friends who are Chargers fans. I guess the reason I don't put them on the like not love one is because of Spanos.
That's fair.
Yeah. And I just feel like put him back in San Diego. Who needs why do we need two LA teams? Oh, because New York has two. Okay, whatever. But
The Jets are in Jersey.
I
They're
know.
both
So
in
yeah, they're
Jersey.
both in Jersey.
But the
So
Jets
okay.
are the Jersey team to me.
I'm gonna put LA. So again, let me know what you think, but I'm gonna put them in the like them, not love them, just because yeah, they did kind of have a dream team last year. Sean McVay's a good coach. And there's nobody on that team who I actively dislike. And they, again, there's not a team I really. Let me put this: if we have the Cardinals, in no opinion, I got to put LA up in the like, not love.
That's fair. LA, the only issue I have with them is Ramsey. And it's because he hasn't backed his talk as of recent. But
Did
when he
we?
backs his talk, he's good. And Donald, I also think is
Mm-hmm.
overhyped. Personal opinion there. I think he's a really good defensive tackle, but every time I've seen the Ravens play him, they don't double cover him. They
Well,
put one of our rotating offensive guards in, and they stop him the entire game. Just about.
mhm.
Maybe he gets a sack. That's pretty good for me. But he's an amazing player. It's just against the Ravens, I just think they scheme well against them.
Same thing with like Cooper Cup. He's like a top 10 receiver in the league right now.
Yeah,
Even and Van Jefferson too are both really good.
Jefferson's
I
very good. Yeah, I
uh,
agree.
who's their running back? I keep forgetting.
That's gonna be for some reason it's Henderson or Anderson, something like
I think
that.
it is Henderson. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, they did kind of mortgage their future, but at least they got a ring. So
Yeah, I agree with the statement that they say where they're like, they're just gonna point to the ring and just go,
got a
got
ring.
it. And I agree with that.
It's like, well, you did get the ring.
Cam Akers.
Cam Akers, thank you. I don't know why
I
that was.
think Henderson or Anderson used to be like a backup running back for him, or is a backup running back for him. I can't remember.
I just remember that name from Madden. I'll just say that
Yeah,
because I got the
that's fair.
yeah. So okay, how do you feel about the Raiders? I kind of have no opinion on them.
I don't like their fans at all.
We can put them in dislike. That's fine.
Okay, cool. I put their fans in the same level as Dallas for me.
Raiders are just I don't know. Like I know like when
Ooh.
they were the Oakland Raiders, they like had some hardcore fans
Yeah.
and whatever. And you got to appreciate that dedication. But
Yes, I do respect the dedication.
but at the same time, John, it wasn't Jay Gruden, it was John Gruden, right? That had
Yes.
those stupid emails and
Yes.
yeah, and I feel like yeah, they've just been poorly run, and I feel bad for Derek Carr. So
I feel like the Raiders are Washington, but in the AFC.
that's fair. I could see
For
that.
like how ownership treated them and stuff like that.
And they have
Now
a
it just
couple
seems like they're
rings,
running
right?
out of money. Yeah, they have like two or
Three.
three, I want to say. Yeah.
Oh, then they literally are the Washington of the AFC because Washington has three as well.
Now
But
this next team, I don't like.
you tell me because I don't care about the Dolphins.
I strongly dislike the Dolphins.
Why do you
Their
strongly dislike the
fan
Dolphins?
base. Now, I actually have a friend who is a Dolphins fan, and he is very nice, probably one of the nicest people ever. But a majority of the fans I have met will not shut up about how they went undefeated
Oh, 72. Yeah,
back
back
when there
there
was
was
like
like
only
10 games.
13, yeah,
Yeah.
13 games. We've seen numerous teams do that nowadays. And it's just like they're always at that level where they're annoying if they beat you because it's either like they're so bad of a team that if they beat you, it's like really I lost to the Dolphins, or it's like they're a
Mm-hmm.
playoff team that's like wild card fringe and they beat you, and it's like really we lost to the Dolphins. Like
I'll
it's like we should have beat them. I agree dislike.
okay, because I was gonna say I'm also mad because they beat us this year, like in embarrassing fashion, but
Also,
that's
the
also
handling of the Tua situation really
oh
made me
yeah,
dislike them.
100%. Let's see here. So Vikings,
I don't have an opinion towards them.
yeah, me neither. That's
They're a
probably
purple
gonna
team, so I always say I hope the purple teams do good.
I have family that live in Minnesota,
Hey,
and I
that's
know it's really
fair.
cold there. So
Let their fan base have something.
So okay,
Oh, you love this next team, right?
right. Okay. I feel like loathe is too strong of a word just because like they've
5 years
gotten
ago would have been loath.
yes,
Mhm.
but the Patriots again, their fans are just so bad, and
Mhm.
it was just they were the team. It's like, oh really, Tom Brady's going to the Super Bowl again? Oh God, he got another ring. Come on, really?
And see, I
So
was a big Belichick fan, and I still am. Think he's an amazing coach. Big Tom Brady fan. We'll say that on air. I am a big Tom Brady fan. No problem
I,
saying that.
it's that
But
meme where it's like, with every inch of my heart, do I hate you? But God, do
yes,
I respect you?
oh, I respect you so much.
Yes,
I respect you so much.
it's just, and I can't lie. I mean, when I went to the Ravens game and saw the Patriots, he was still on the team. It's like, oh, there's Tom Brady. Like 100 feet
That's
away from
got to
me.
be amazing to see. I know when I went to a WWE event and saw Kane, I thought that was amazing.
Hmm. But sorry, I feel like I cut you off. Sorry,
Oh no, you're good, dude. You're all good.
but yeah, I just Patriots fans are annoying and they're bandwagoners. A lot of them just went to Tampa, and a lot of the
Mhm.
Super Bowls were just because they weren't even Tom Brady's. Like really, like I don't know about his first couple
Defense.
ones. Yeah, it was the defense because the Falcons. Well, okay, the Falcons also choked, but
And
you
Tom led
you
some
don't.
pretty good drives.
I was gonna say you don't go from like 28-3 to win out of nowhere. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Tom's a great game manager, but I think he gets
Well, he definitely was not the reason they won 53.
correct.
That was 100% Julian Edelman, and
Yep.
the reason they
And
won.
Butler, right?
Yeah, Malcolm
No,
Butler.
Butler
Oh
was
my God.
Seattle. Seattle was
Yeah.
Butler because he
Oh,
intercepted in the end zone. That was a
that
beautiful pick.
beautiful pick, but I wanted Seattle to win.
Me too. Me
Like
too. But
you had Marshawn Lynch there, and we're gonna beat this dead horse till the end of time.
oh,
But
I was so excited. He was my favorite running back.
so
Skittles were
good.
my favorite candy growing up. Loved Marshawn Lynch. My
I
cousin was
was
a Patriots fan growing up. We lived in the same basement. Who we
and
were the same. He was my older cousin. Man, those are some heated discussions.
I'll say this as nice as I can. I remember watching that game. Like this is before I actually really cared about football. I think it was the year we graduated. Actually, was it? Wait, no, it was our senior year. And I just remember being like, what the heck was that? Like I was mad because yeah. But
Yeah,
anywho, so
5 years ago, put him in low 100%. Nowadays, I would say what dislike.
I'm still kind of putting him in
Oh,
low
put him
just
in
for the
low.
yeah, because I mean a lot of fans of Patriots, they still won't shut up about their future. It's kind of like that meme of like Peter crying in the closet. It's like we still got 6 rings, and then
Yes.
the again a lot of them just are bandwagoners, Brady bandwagoners who just went to Tampa as soon as Brady left, and yeah, and you try to talk reason with them and they won't. So
100% agree.
so this is for a oh we got 10 minutes left in this meeting. So this is for a petty reason, but there is somebody that we went to high school with, and they are the reason I dislike the
Oh,
Saints.
this is hilarious because I'm pretty sure that's the same reason I hate the Saints.
I we can talk about this in text, but I feel like
Yes,
we both dislike the Saints
that's
for the same
hilarious.
reason. So we're gonna
Oh
put
my
the
god, love Drew Brees. Love half their players. Love
well.
Sean
Plus, Andy
Payton.
Dalton is
Even
playing for them right now, so yeah.
correct.
But
Like Sean Payton, I know the whole situation that he had where Bounty Gate that was terrible. I will say I'm an avid believer that every NFL team was doing that. They just got caught. That's a personal opinion, but love Sean Payton, Alvin Kamara, for everything that's coming out with what happened there. Used to be one of my favorite running backs. Staying away from that now.
nice.
But when they had Drew Brees, loved Drew Brees. Was one of my favorite quarterbacks. Seems like such a nice guy. I was a little mad when he finally beat the Ravens because we were the last team that he had to beat. Justin Tucker missed the field goal, and I couldn't even get mad about it. We were living in an apartment at the time. I remember that.
Right.
But no, they are definitely. I was going to mention this. The Giants are the same way. There's a specific person I know that's a Giants fan that made me not like the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because I know for a fact it's the same person.
Yes. Anyway, but so I will say too. So the couple years ago when the Rams went to the Super Bowl and lost against the Patriots, I will. So I was really wanting LA to go to the Super Bowl that year. I wouldn't have been upset if New Orleans had gone because they like again putting aside that one person, the reason why we just like the Saints, they deserved
Yeah.
another ring under
Yeah.
Breeze, and Peyton, but
The only thing I think I could add to it is how whiny their fans got during that playoff of that missed call. It was
Well,
a terrible missed call. 100% agree. And I would be just as mad,
as much as
but
it
it got
was, that
so
happens to
annoying.
everyone though.
Yeah, it's happened to the Ravens. I mean, it happened to both sides of the Ravens. We've beaten a team in the Super Bowl like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But okay, so you said you dislike the Giants, because I'm okay with that, because I mean,
Yeah, I dislike them. I like Saquon though, and I like Daniel Jones. I always feel bad for these young quarterbacks coming out because I feel like they get thrown to the wolves immediately and
yeah,
not actually given a fair chance. I liked him coming out of Duke. I wanted him to go to the Commanders actually. Was where I had him predicted to. Um, but I actually haven't started tracking my picks yet. We're gonna start doing that this year,
oh
so
yeah,
we'll keep
definitely.
that.
But so
Yeah,
okay, so obviously they're division
they're
rivals of.
fans.
Oh yeah, I've heard really bad things about Giants fans, but they're not as bad as Eagles fans. We'll get to that when we get to the Eagles.
Agreed.
But
Agreed. I have a couple buddies that are Eagles fans. And, oh my gosh.
so okay, the Giants, they're kind of like how I feel about the Bengals, and like if they're the lesser of three evils.
Agreed.
Where like if it's between them, the Eagles, or the Cowboys winning a Super Bowl, I'd rather pick the Giants. Like, go
Yep.
Giants!
I
Woohoo!
can see that.
And I did like when they beat the Patriots both times and they ruined
Yep.
Brady's perfect season.
I did too.
But yeah, I mean, I'll dislike them just for the fans, and again, they're division rivals. But again, it's not a hate. I don't hate them. So,
Yeah.
but Jets. Have you watched Urinating Trees video on the Jets? Because it's one of the funniest things I've seen in my life.
I feel like I have. I'd have to rewatch. I'm gonna rewatch it
He spends
tonight.
like they're talking about the butt fumble and just how bad they are
Yeah,
notoriously
it's
at
you just
drafting. And
feel bad for them, but it's also at the same time, it's like they kill all their players that come there. Like they
like,
don't treat them
I don't know if it's
correctly.
a ownership issue or what, because Adam Gase was terrible, and
I
I feel
love their
bad.
Saul is a great
Yeah,
coach.
I feel bad for him. Zach
I
Wilson's
wish he was the
awful.
Ravens coach.
Yeah, Zach Wilson is awful, and I wonder which team he's going to go to next year. I could see him going to the Raiders or the Texans, but
I could see that. I could also see him going to the Titans. I don't know why, but the Titans is a team I could just see them
the Colts
giving
need to.
away a fifth or sixth for him.
I could see it. Yeah, he's not going to fetch any more than like a second or third. He's not going to go
Yeah,
first.
unless
The
someone's being crazy.
I could see the Colts going for him too, but again, the Colts need to stop doing the quarterback carousel. They need to draft one anyway.
Yeah.
But the Jets,
I
I'll let
don't
you
hate him.
decide. I'll
I
let
just
you.
gonna put him in no opinion.
Okay, that's fair. Actually, somebody I worked with, he was cool. He was a Jets fan, and I felt bad for him. But
My buddy Jose used to say he was a Jets fan, but now I think he says he's a Saints fan. So
so,
he just liked their running backs. They were really good running backs.
oh yeah. Well, and I'll say this too. So, okay, eh, I can't, in good conscience, hate the Jets just because they are kind of the NFL's punching bag over and over and over again. But at the same time, it's like they've kind of they in a way are the root of their own problems.
They are. They
So
get in their own way. You love the next team, right? I like the Eagles, actually.
actually, okay, because I was going to put them in loathe if you
No, no,
agreed
no, we
to.
can. And I agree with that because their fans are just so
Okay,
heinous.
so let me
But yes,
let me say it
I
like
do like
this.
them.
Let me just say it like this. So a couple reasons why I'm putting them in loathe, and if you want, I'll put them in dislike because it'll be a
Oh, no,
little
no,
bit.
no. Loath makes sense to me. I also
Okay,
love it for the pitcher.
okay, because this is both of us. This is both
Yep.
of our lists. But
Yep. No, I'm
so,
down for this.
okay, so okay, like before I met my wife, who is a Washington fan, right? I did not, like, again, I didn't really care about football, but I didn't dislike the Eagles. I think I had like maybe a McNabb jersey when I was like 10 or 8 because I literally just saw one. I'm like, I'm gonna get this, why not? And then I used it as a paint shirt anyway. Uh, but and I gotta say this too. We were dating the year that they won the Super Bowl, and I was like, I'm sorry, I need to root for them because I hate the Patriots so much. My dislike for the Patriots outweighs my dislike for the Eagles, and she understood that. So I was happy that they beat that, and I'm like, you know what? And I gotta say too, during COVID, we got married during COVID, and we were gonna go on our cruise, but because of the pandemic, we couldn't do that. So we went to Philadelphia for a week just because, and it was all right. However, we went and saw My Chemical Romance in Philly about a couple months ago,
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
the fellow concert goers, so I'm sure we're from all over the place because we drove 3 hours to see them. The people we were with were nice, but everyone who worked at that venue, the Wells Fargo Center, awful people, so rude, everyone. And it is, I've heard stories like from people, like not just like NFL pundits or whatever, or sportscasters, Eagles fans will literally, like, if you show up at their venue wearing the opposing team's thing, like especially if it's like Washington or Dallas, they will like throw things at you, like not even just food, like they will throw like shoes, they'll throw like anything that can hurt you. So like that's why I have to put them in loathe.
Oh no, 100% agree.
Now we got to talk about the old Steelers. So
This is where a lot of Ravens fans probably won't like me. I don't hate the Steelers. I dislike Cleveland more than I dislike the Steelers. I do dislike the Steelers though.
again, I think it's more so the Steelers fans because do you remember eighth grade? I'm not going to name the teacher, but we had our science teacher. I don't know if that was we were in the same science class or not, but she had a terrible towel and it was like, stop.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yep. Yep.
That's also why I became a Ravens fan, was because I met so many terrible Steelers
Yeah.
fans.
So
And I saw Ray Lewis hit Big Ben and I went, that's the team. That's the
yep.
team right there.
And it's just yeah. If you dislike the Browns for Deshaun Watson, I'm
Yeah.
not. Again,
Yep.
I dislike the Steelers partially because of Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah. No, I was the same way.
So I'm just gonna put him here for now. We can move
Yep.
him up if we
I
want
mean,
later.
we're Ravens fans. I mean, we got to put them where they belong.
Yeah, and
If
the
you're a
thing is,
Steelers fan though, and you're talking to me about how like the teams are and stuff like that, I will talk to you about it in like a regular way and be like, hey, your team's looking great. I think they're gonna stop the Ravens. Like I even predicted the Ravens were gonna choke the game against the Steelers. It just
yep.
I'm a realistic fan, but come on, Ravens are better than Steelers.
I did also. I gotta be if I'm saying something nice about the Steelers, Kenny Pickett was a good pick. He's a good
It's
player.
shown.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just their fans really, and plus I knew somebody. I don't know if you know this person. You probably don't, but I just remember they're like, "I'm going on vacation." Oh, where are you going? Pittsburgh. I'm like, who goes on vacation on Pittsburgh? Who goes on vacation to Pittsburgh? Like, I know people who I used to work with who moved to Pittsburgh and they moved back. Like, I hated that place. Like
That's what
everyone,
I've heard as well. And then I've also heard people who move to Pennsylvania though and just love it and just love the area. And I'm just like,
yeah,
I couldn't do it. I also could not move. Like you'll find out about me, I'm not big on other Ravens fans, so I could not live in Maryland or in
oh no,
Baltimore.
nope, nope.
Could not do it.
But anywho, but Seattle. So tell me what you feel about them because I have opinions.
I actually like them. I think they have I think they have two of the dopest uniforms.
I don't like their yellow
green.
uniforms.
You don't like the green ones?
Okay, I'm colorblind. If those are green,
No. You're good. I remember.
But yeah, I dislike those ones. But again,
no, that's fair. That's I could only imagine of what those would look. Is it what do you see? Is it just like a nice like Sprite like lemon yellow?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's how I see it.
Oh, that would be so ugly. That's like the Rams alternate uniform, just like more less dark.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
But no, again, I liked when Russell Wilson was them. DK Metcalf is a great wide receiver. Obviously, Marshawn Lynch,
Richard Sherman,
Chancellor. Yep.
They had such a stacked unit. They actually used to remind me of the Ravens when they had that defense.
They beat the crap out of Denver in the Super Bowl that they won.
Yeah.
And I was rooting for them against the Steelers the year they did that. But anywho, yeah, I like them. And I don't know how you feel about San Francisco, but I'm kind of in the same route where it's
I have a buddy who's a San Francisco fan, and because of that, I like that kid. He's a good kid. So I always kind of soft spot in my heart. That and they kind of gifted us that Super Bowl by being terrible the entire game.
I honestly, yeah, I mean,
I also would
feel
love
like
to see the Ravens beat the 49ers again this year.
Yeah, that would be funny. I doubt it would happen because our offense isn't that good. Their offense is a lot better.
Yeah, but that'd be a good defensive game, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I mean, their offense. I mean, even like with Garoppolo out, and what was their pick? Who started? I can't think.
Trey
of his
Lance.
Name. Yes, they're out. He's out, and Brock Purdy,
Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, he's doing great. And again, Debo is
great
Debo
coaching.
Forgive me, is Debo a wide receiver or running back? He's a wide receiver, right?
Both.
Okay, they can do both.
He's like a gadget player.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I like him, and their defense is stacked. So, and obviously, was it George Kittle, their tight end?
Yes.
Yeah, no, he's great too. So, again, there's not a team in the NFC West that I really dislike. The Cardinals are the least of all of them, in my opinion. So, but
Actually, I think it's funny that the amount of teams that we actually like is actually a decent amount. It's not like
hmm
we hate a lot of teams, but there's a lot of no opinion, not really a
yeah.
huge amount of dislike and loathe. It's kind of like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Um,
Where would you put them?
don't really have an opinion too much on them. Their new fans annoy me though, so I'd probably put them in dislike.
I was gonna
But
do that. Yeah.
I loved seeing Tom get the Super Bowl with them. They get absolutely plastered, and then they had the Mike Glennon that had to like carry him when he was
Yep.
drunk.
Yep.
Oh, that was so funny to
But
me.
you know what's funny though is like because you were talking about Kansas City earlier. I dislike so okay. The year that the 49ers played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, I was actually rooting for the
Mhm.
49ers. And then the next year, I didn't want Tom Brady winning another Super Bowl. So I'm like, go Kansas City. And then they lost. And so yeah. But it's just again, a lot of their fans are bandwagoners, and I feel for their actual fans who were there beforehand because without
Yeah.
Tom Brady, they're irrelevant. But again, it's just kind of like eh. So
And then it's like the only trophy you have besides the one from Brady is from Gruden. So then you're just like,
what do you do there? But
what do you? It's like you
aren't
point to
they
both rings. It's like,
isn't it like them and the Ravens are the only two teams that like are undefeated in the Super Bowl in their Super Bowl appearances?
I think so.
Yeah.
If you're going back into Baltimore Colts history, no. But yes, Ravens history, yes.
Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yep.
So okay, Tennessee.
Tennessee
I
used to be one of the biggest. Tennessee used to be what Pittsburgh was to the Ravens in terms of rivals.
oh yeah, I think they were in division rivals before
Um,
they redid them, right?
yes, they were in AFC Central. I wasn't a big. I'm not a big Titans fan. But now the newer team, um, I guess I put no opinion. I used to dislike them because really like Derrick Henry, but when they were being like arrogant on the field and everything before the Ravens game that one year,
Oh
that
yeah.
kind of annoyed me.
Oh, I
Because
kind of need to put them in the dislike then because they kicked us out of the playoffs when we were the number one seed.
yeah, they did. That was
So
embarrassing.
yeah, that made me mad. But
Yeah,
anywho, so and plus my nephew lives in the area and he was originally from Baltimore, so he really just does not like the Titans. So I
that's
kind of got to
fair.
give him that. But anyway, we gotta do this with an asterisk. So Washington, we're number one fans. You know, they're our team. We grew up with them. You know, blah blah blah. But we hate Dan Snyder, and we're so glad that he's selling.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a Ravens fan, diehard, but I like to watch the other teams. So I'll put that next to me. I will.
okay,
I watch a lot about the Washington though. I am diehard Ravens fan, but for me, Washington would be in the like not love, but that's
mm-hmm,
only because I'm not like an actual fan. But I
mm-hmm.
agree with this list.
Yeah, I'm a fan. You
These are going
know,
to be the two teams
even
we talk about the most.
oh yeah, definitely. No, growing up, you know, we were in the area, obviously root for Washington, and again, it's before I cared, but you know, I can't really say again. None of the players that we've had have been really bad. You know, obviously Sean
No,
Taylor and you know
bad
Alex
free
Smith.
agent signings, but
Oh
that's
my,
about it.
ugh. It's just Dan Snyder, man.
Yep.
I can't stand that guy. So
Terrible person. It's
terrible
just the
person.
name. I
Yeah,
think Dan Snyder as a name is just terrible.
yeah. It makes
Both the
me.
ones I know are terrible.
I'm like, why do we have to have? Why do I have to share a name with him? Why couldn't he be just named
Oh
like?
no, no, no. Dan
Oh
itself
no,
is a
no, yeah,
great name.
I know. That's I didn't think you were saying that. I was just like, why
Oh,
couldn't he have been named like Lyle or something that everyone hates?
I always just thought that was so funny. So for the longest time, I know this is a tangent, but like I always thought that the owner of Nickelodeon, who was a terrible
Oh,
person,
that
he was
guy
a
too.
terrible
Yeah,
person.
yeah, I
His name
forgot.
is Dan Snyder, and it's like I thought they were the same person because they're both terrible humans.
Nope, it's Dan Schneider. But yeah, he's bad too. Anywho,
Yeah,
so but yeah, and you know, my wife and her dad and her granddad are diehards, and well, her granddad was a diehard. He passed away, but yeah, they're got to root for him. Again, I want the team to do so well, and I love Heineke. I love all their players: Antonio
yeah,
Gibson, Brian Robinson. Bless him for what he did this year for the team. He's yeah, and I'm not a fan of Carson Wentz. Sorry, Carson Wentz just was a bad pick, and
yeah.
he's gonna be gone next year. I don't know if any team's gonna pick him up, but
I think somebody might like maybe
Texans because they
I could
need one,
see.
but they also
I
have the number
see
one
the
pick.
Wentz are gonna get Wentz is gonna go to Rams next year
I don't know. I mean,
as
they
a
could.
backup.
I don't think he's gonna be a starter anywhere. I mean, the only
I
team
I think he goes as a backup, and I think he gets some playing time.
he could go to Chicago as a backup.
I also think if you put Wentz in the right playbook, he's gonna do good because of schemes.
Well, I remember they played Jacksonville this year and they won, and I was like, oh, hey, Carson Wentz might actually been worth it. And then he lost the next like 5 games, and then he won the one against like Chicago, but that wasn't really him. And then
What they should do is make every team play for Shanahan and then just see what level of good Shanahan can get you at to see how good you are.
but remember, Shanahan made the Eagles choke, so I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Best
Oh,
coach.
and then to be fair, he doesn't have Wentz on his team.
Yeah, gosh, we might have to do an episode on who we think all the free agents are going to next
Definitely,
year. But
definitely need to do that.
yeah, but yeah, again, so the loath is just teams that we really dislike. Dislike is just kind of like we have our reasons why we dislike them, but we don't like hate them. Again, no opinion. We really just they're there. We don't hate them, nor do we love them. The like, not love. We root for them. You know, they got our support. We're just, we're not number one fans. And then again, Washington, Baltimore, we're in the area, so we got to root for them. So, well, awesome. That was our first episode. Anything else you wanted to add there, Chris? Or
no, that's about it. I appreciate Dan for being here as well and doing this little sports podcast. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I appreciate anybody who does listen to this. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, this is our first one. We're going to be working on some stuff later. We might do it on Twitch because I know some people do that, and or another one you were mentioning. But this will go up on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, feel free to subscribe if you'd like. And we're definitely not the people who are like subscribe, but be cool
if you like what you like it. You don't. It's all good.
Yeah. Yep. And then if you want to follow us on Facebook, we don't have an Instagram right now, but we're gonna debate if we get enough following. Yeah. We don't have a Twitter, but anyway, thank you all.
We're old men.
Exactly. Yeah, we're above.
We're our whole old 20 plus.
Exactly. Well, cool. Well, yeah. If y'all enjoyed the show, feel free, drop a like, subscribe, whatever, and we hope to see you again soon.
See you guys.